It's not every day that you hear about darts players getting into fistfights, but that's exactly what happened when Boris Koltsov, a former World Darts Championship qualifier, got into a brawl with an opponent after a match in his native Russia. Footage of the incident has emerged on social media, showing Koltsov throwing punches at his opponent after reportedly winning the match. It's unclear what caused the altercation, but according to reports, the opponent refused to shake Koltsov's hand and insulted his team after the game. The video of the fight has left darts fans stunned, with many taking to social media to express their disbelief. One fan tweeted, "Boris Koltsov woke up and actually chose violence." Another fan commented, "Wow, fighting in darts, that's a new one." And yet another fan was shocked that nobody in the crowd seemed to care, saying, "Nobody in the crowd looked bothered at all." Koltsov's conduct at the Russian Team Championship is likely to have serious repercussions, as he was dragged away from his opponent by teammates and officials. It remains to be seen what the fallout from the incident will be, but Koltsov's future in the sport could be in jeopardy. It's not the first time that darts players have gotten into fights, but it's certainly a rare occurrence. The sport is known for its friendly and laid-back atmosphere, with players often sharing a beer or two after a match. However, tensions can sometimes boil over, especially when there's a lot on the line. For Koltsov, it seems that his frustration got the best of him, and he lashed out at his opponent. It's a shame that the incident happened, as Koltsov had made a name for himself in the darts world, reaching the second round of last year's World Championship at the Alexandra Palace. Adrian Lewis, the two-time PDC World Darts Championship, is known for his incredible talent and his nickname, Jackpot. But on one fateful day, Lewis made headlines for a different reason altogether. He was suspended after being involved in an on-the-hockey scuffle with Jose Justicia during a UK Open qualifier. It had been a tense match, with Lewis and Justicia going head-to-head. However, things had taken a turn for the worse in the 8th leg, when Lewis had begun swearing at his opponent. He then shouted, "You're trying to piss me off, I'm telling you." Despite winning another leg, Lewis had continued to express his frustration with Justicia, saying, "Don't try pissing me off, I'm telling you." The tension between the two players had reached its boiling point, and they had squared up to each other on the hockey. After the match, Lewis had been seen pushing Justicia in the shoulder with his right hand, seemingly arguing about stumbling into each other on the hockey. The incident had not gone unnoticed, and the Darts Regulation Authority had fined Adrian £3,000 and given him a 3-month ban after confronting an opponent. Lewis had then said in a statement, "I deeply regret that my frustrations got the better of me, as I felt that my opponent was trying to provoke me. I realise now that I should have reported any problems to tournament officials instead of confronting Jose after the match. I would like to offer my sincere apologies to the PDC, the sponsor of the event, my own sponsors, who I thank for their loyalty and support, my manager, darts fans, and finally my family. I would like to say a big thank you for all of the kind messages sent to me from all over the world, and now I just want to put this all behind me and concentrate on playing the game I love and trying to make my way back to the top." This incident was in stark contrast to Lewis's illustrious career in the world of darts. He has won several major tournaments, including the PDC World Darts Championship in 2011 and 2012, and the UK Open in 2013. Don't forget to hit the bullseye to subscribe to our channel, so you never miss out on any of our amazing darts videos. Chris Mason, an English former professional darts player, known for his nickname Mace the Ace. Chris Mason was sentenced to 3 years in jail over a brutal hammer attack on scaffolder Neil Harley. Mason, along with brothers Mark and Simon Gibson, entered Mr. Harley's home and unleashed a vicious beating on him, leaving him look like something out of a horror movie, according to the judge who sentenced Mason. The attack came after a dispute over a pet dog, a Yorkshire Terrier named Doris, given to Mr. Harley and his fiancée by Mark Gibson, only to be returned after the dog showed aggression. The Gibson brothers, armed with a baseball bat and 2 hammers, joined Mason to take matters into their own hands. The result was a bloodbath that left Mr. Harley fearing for his life. Despite the severity of the attack, Mason had some powerful friends in his corner. Former world champion Keith Deller and TV commentator Sid Waddle both wrote letters to the judge pleading for leniency, to no avail. Mason was dubbed Mace the Ace during his darts career, but his actions off the hockey were anything but ace-like. During the trial, the prosecution laid out a grisly scene, with blood splattered on the walls and Mr. Harley left battered and bleeding. Mason claimed that he only tried to grapple with Mr. Harley to stop the fight, but the judge didn't buy it. You went over the top and punched the already severely bloodied Neil Harley when you didn't need to, Judge Keith Cutler told Mason. The consequences for Mason and his co-conspirators were severe, but the damage done to Mr. Harley was even greater. After his jail time, Mason talks about how his heavy drinking affected his performances and life, which eventually led to 3 years in prison. In June 2003, though he served just 12 months before he was released. And it was during this time in the clink that Mace the Ace was exposed to certain extremes, some of which came due to his unenviable job of having to clean the cells allocated to those on suicide watch. The 53-year-old has detailed that the labour wasn't all bad. However, despite its grim nature, I actually had a job in there on the unit where suicide attempts were held like in a hospital unit, but I had the job of cleaning up the cells as no one really wanted to do that. I didn't mind it. It didn't really faze me at all. I'm like, oh, this is how we done it, Mason told the Darts Show podcast in August 2022. Paul Cookie Cook was a name that many had heard of. With a championship title to his name and numerous appearances in big tournaments, Cook was a well-known figure in the sport. However, it's not his dart skills that have made the headlines, but rather a violent incident that took place outside his home. CCTV footage has captured the moment Cook, in the midst of an ongoing parking feud with his neighbour, brutally attacked 65-year-old Stephen Leonard with a brick. The incident saw Leonard suffer cuts and bruises to his head, eye, cheekbone and elbow, leaving him shaken and afraid for his safety. According to reports, the altercation began when Cook's wife reversed her car onto her driveway, leaving the lights on and shining into Leonard's living room. When Leonard tried to confront her about it, Cook appeared and things quickly escalated. The pair began shouting and swearing at each other for several minutes before Cook picked up a paving brick and struck Leonard over the head with it. Despite his wife's pleas for him to stop, Cook continued to attack Leonard, punching him in the head before being pulled to the ground. As a result of the incident, Leonard suffered injuries that still cause him pain and fear to this day. Cook, who pleaded guilty to assault occasioning actual bodily harm, had told officers that he had only picked up the brick to place it on the wall, but had forgotten it was in his hand when he struck Leonard. However, the court heard that Cook had ongoing issues with his neighbour and had reacted badly to the situation. Despite Cook's heart condition and severe mental health issues, including depression and anxiety, he was fined £265, ordered to pay £85 prosecution costs and a £34 surcharge. No compensation was awarded to Leonard due to the nature of their relationship, and no restraining order was made as it was deemed not practical in the circumstances. This incident serves as a stark reminder that even in seemingly peaceful settings like darts, tempers can flare and turn violent. Don't forget to hit the bullseye and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on any of our amazing darts videos. See you next time!